My name is Yavuz Urgut, and I'm the Industry Advisor for Consumer Products at SAP in EMEA South. In a matter of weeks, the COVID-19 pandemic has escalated to a global health crisis and significantly disrupted the global economy. The impact on consumer products companies varies heavily by category as consumers shift their behaviors. Some companies are faced with skyrocketing demand as consumers hoard products, while others are faced with little or no demand. Think, for instance, food services companies normally supplying to restaurants and company cafeterias and other HoReCa, which now repurpose production to packaged food for retail, where demand is uprising, surging. As a result, manufacturers need to assess how to best measure the shift in consumer behavior and address supply chain disruptions, production capacity issues, and workforce constraints in the short, mid, and longer term. Specifically, adjusting plans and strategies for the next few weeks and possibly to the end of the year will prove to be a major challenge. There is no blueprint for a crisis of this global scale, unfortunately. Forecasting models that have worked well in the past will not be accurate for at least 6 months until demand and supply starts to balance out again across the entire supply chain. Consumer products companies experience extensive disruption. The COVID-19 outbreak is first and foremost a human tragedy. At the same time, it is continuing and it will continue to have a growing impact on the global economy and will become much more severe in the weeks and months to come. Here are some of the key challenges that companies like yourself might be facing. We will be helping you and we will be here to offer assistance during this time of uncertainty, and we will help you respond to these challenges. The first and the foremost challenge is in the supply chain. Supply chain volatility and demand unpredictability. We have a very volatile consumer demand for goods and services. The demand in some areas are even more volatile than others. Consumers are panic buying. In some areas, this panic buying not only creating unusual demand patterns are emerging, but on the lower level of the supply chain create a very nasty bullwhip effect. Beyond that, uncertain supply of critical materials from affected regions are impeding the manufacturers, consumer products manufacturers, to create a robust and reasonable schedules. Beyond that, constrained labor and resource capacity in manufacturing and logistics is creating another big problem in the resourcing. This all creates in supply chains disruptions, and these disruptions are leading to higher cost, missed sales, and a requirement to safeguard cash. Logistics bottlenecks are rising due to inbound and outbound supply chain challenges. The second area is the changing workforce needs. In consumer products manufacturing, consumer demand for essential consumer products are outpacing the production capacity. And this production capacity is actually depending on resources, not only manufacturing resources, but also human resources. Organizations forced to lay off employees due to economic conditions caused by the crisis as well. This is resulting in a displacement in skilled workers. and the companies are looking to hire contingent workers. The third area the crisis is hitting is the workforce environment. We are more and more moving towards a remote work environment. Remote working arrangements instituted in most of the companies. This requires a continued communication with employees, customers, and suppliers. It is this continuous connection with your business partners. This has become increasingly important during the crisis. The fourth point is that the long-term impacts of these disruptions. Entire countries are shutting down, and with severe effects on global supply and demand. No blueprint, no path, easy path for when and how companies can steer out of this once the crisis subsides. Supply chain cause and effect dynamics can take weeks, if not months, to play out. Uncertainty will definitely and already creating the bullwhip effect. Some will buy more than they need, while others will stop buying altogether. Planning for when to ramp up production and ordering supplies will be critical. During these times, SAP stands by you. You will find in the next part of my some ideas that could potentially help you in the near to midterm. The first one is around the supply chain. In the supply chain, we need to accelerate supply chain visibility, and we need to prevent out of stocks on the shelves with early demand signals. One immediate remedy here is that immediate sourcing requirements and how to cover them. SAP is providing free access to SAP Ariba Discovery solution. This solution is working like a matchmaking solution. Will be providing you the sourcing requirements. You post your sourcing requirements, sourcing needs, and you get quick responses from suppliers who can deliver from all across the world. This will help you minimize shipment delays and respond to consumer demand. The second phase is the prepare for recovery. After creating all this visibility and sourcing requirements, you need to track and trace the whole business networks and collaborate in your business networks. SAP Logistics Business Network solution with freight collaboration option will help you manage logistics networks to reduce capacity constraints and freight costs. You can also use the tool for end-to-end material and transportation visibility and traceability. During this time, SAP Advisory Services will assist with prioritizing short, mid-term, and long-term capabilities to address your requirements. SAP solutions enabling real-time collaboration between retailers and consumer products companies getting more and more crucial at this point. This is important to avoid out of stocks and overstock situations. For example, SAP Consumer Sales Intelligence tool will enable you to receive point of sales data and inventory levels from the top retail clients of yours in the store per article level in every geography. Getting this information into the tool SAP Analytics Cloud solution will help you deliver real-time insights into this data, allowing you to sense the demand ahead of customer orders to minimize stockouts and help you prevent the feared, dreadful bullwhip effect. The third phase in this supply chain is the requirement to reimagine the readiness in the future. SAP's digital supply chain solutions will help you improve visibility across the entire supply chain, protect critical customer relationships, and limit the negative business impact in the short term and build stronger supply chain resilience in the long term. The second ideation comes around the temporary workforce. First of all, we need to respond quickly. The SAP Field Glass Worker Profile Management applications will provide you total workforce visibility and understanding specifically of how the external workforce is being impacted. Then you can analyze where there are large concentrations of workers and if they are in high-risk areas. With the tool, you can recruit and onboard contingent labor to expand production and fulfillment in response to demand spikes. You can locate workers with specific expertise where they are in high demand right now. Coupling these solutions with solutions like rural sourcing, for instance, you can also move towards the supply side of the equation. The third area we have here is the staying in touch with employees, customers, and suppliers. So a real-time connection to your business partners in short, mid, and long term will be essential. And for this, in the first phase, we need to respond quickly to the crisis. For example, SAP Qualtrics Remote Work Pulse solution is now publicly available and free for all organizations. This Pulse survey will allow you to better understand and take action on organizational readiness for remote work, for instance, quickly assess your workforce morale and well-being, and understand potential implications for culture, productivity, and the business overall. Qualtrics Customer Confidence Pulse is another tool we pre-built and made available and free for all organizations again. This will help you monitor customer expectations and capture feedback in real time, so that you can know that what to stop, start, and continue to maintain the strong relationships with your customers and ensure business continuity. Yet another Pulse tool, which is pre-built and made available, freely available, is the Qualtrics Supply Continuity Pulse. It's again free tool, a free survey to help you assess the risk level of supplier network, validate business continuity and recover plans, and you can follow up. You can do the follow-ups with this tool with your high-risk suppliers. The second step in this is the preparing for the recovery. While doing this pulse checks and so on, it is like a preparation for the next steps, that you keep your continuous relationship and pulse checks with your suppliers and customers and employees, so that extending these tools to your next phases, mid-term and long-term requirements, will help you fast and frequent relationship management with your business partners, including employees. The fourth area we discussed was the post-crisis recovery and how to accelerate post-crisis recovery with supply chain planning solutions in consumer products. Our existing customers using integrated business planning solutions from SAP have already have the opportunity to leverage this solution for critical purposes. It could be season operations planning, alignment management in demand and supply, response and supply planning, inventory optimization, demand sensing. They are all included there. These customers of ours already running integrated business planning have the opportunity to get up and run quickly, leveraging the pre-configured scenarios there and process templates that use very similar, very familiar front-end tools such as Microsoft Excel. So you can have the real-time simulation capabilities for different post-crisis business scenarios, so mid, long-term, or even short-term. You can use the tool for demand-driven MRP to have the exact demand to be reflected into your system. We need to prepare for the recovery, and we need to create plans based on prioritized demands, allocations, and supply chain constraints, and we can use integrated business planning tools for this purpose. You are not alone. SAP is here to offer assistance aligned to your most pressing areas where possible. If anything is needed from us during this time, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, to me, to your account executive, to your executive sponsor. Be safe, keep safe.